Hey, what's up everybody? So as you can see, we're working on the 72 Plymouth Fury. If you missed it, we've drug it out of the yard and a couple weeks ago, and we've just been kind of trying to clean it up, man. She was really dirty inside. We've gutted the interior. As you can see, we pulled the vinyl roof off, revealed that the roof is Swiss cheese at this point. So that's our biggest issue with this project so far, in case you missed it. The car is good, the floors are good, the quarters are good, all around the glass is good, but the roof is Swiss cheese. So I'm going to get this all cleaned up. When we dropped the headliner in the last video, lots of crud came out, and I'm going to clean all of that back up. I'm not going to bore you guys with any of that, but I did want to share some good news with you. Thanks to you guys watching these videos, the video series on this Fury has been doing very well, and thanks to you guys, I was able to reinvest some money into the channel, and the way I did that was buying a brand new GoPro. The GoPro you're watching me on right now is my GoPro 8, and the lens is heavily damaged due to welding and throwing sparks and things like that. So we've been trying to deal with it. It's been annoying. I hate it. I know a lot of you guys have complained thinking that the lens just needs to be cleaned off, and no, man, it's just really damaged. And GoPro 8s, for some reason, they thought it was smart to put out a GoPro that you can't change the lens on. So anyway, we have upgraded now, and so the next scene will be on the new GoPro. So here we go. So here we have the brand new GoPro. You guys, the problem I was having with the old one is anytime you ever shined it at a light source, all you saw was spots. And that's because the lens was heavily damaged, like I explained. So I don't think we have that problem anymore. Check it out, man. This is going to be so much better. I can't wait to check this out in the editing process and actually see exactly how this is turning out, because it's looking really good through the screen so far, that's for sure. So here's my plan. I'm going to take my my cheap little wire wheel that I get down at the old Harbor Freight. These are only about less than $10, and they'll last quite a while. We've already been using it on the outside of the roof, so we're bringing it around, going to use it on the inside. I need to get just some of the scaly stuff. This is rusty. It's a little bit scaly, and we just want to knock some of the loose stuff off with the angle grinder. It's going to go real easy, really quick. It comes right off, no problem. And we're not trying to make it all shiny like this. We just want to knock the loose stuff off.
Oh yeah, don't forget your mask.
See about getting the dome light out of here. It's got a, there we go, a little clip there. Now maybe we can get it through here. I don't know if I have to unplug it off of here or not. Doesn't look like it'll actually come unplugged. I don't know. Let's see. It should slip out of there though. There we go. Yeah, just like that. Come up here. We'll get these unclipped there. Got another one over here. We'll just go ahead and get this completely out of the way. We'll get this one undone too. Let's see. Got my little trim tool here. Suppose you could use a screwdriver or something. There you go, like that. That ought to be good enough, I would think. Take the rest of it. Just put it over here on the dashboard or something to kind of keep it out of the way. There we go. So yeah, I want to get my my wire wheel and just kind of work that. You see what we got going on here. We're kind of working it off of there. Like I said, we're not trying to get it all off. They actually say to leave some of it behind, and that way when you put the rust inhibitor on there, it makes a reaction, and then it kills it or stops it in its tracks, whatever. And supposedly it works really good. I did use it on that one over there. Nothing's come back so far. So anyway, I will keep plugging away on this. I want to get all of this underneath here cleaned up so that we can start treating it. Throwing up a little plastic in here, just kind of help with the overspray, because you could brush this stuff on, this rust inhibitor, or you can spray it on. And I'm going to go ahead and just spray it. This will only take a few minutes to run this plastic around here. It comes in rolls. They're like 12 feet wide, and it all folds out, and it should be plenty enough to get it around in here, and you know, not a big deal if we get a little overspray in here. You know, there's not much in here to get oversprayed on, but you know, you get it on these panels, you'll have to come back and clean it off, and it's just more work. So why not just go ahead and throw a little plastic through here. This was sent to us by a subscriber, so really cool, man. Stuff comes in super handy. About to get to the end of it here. Notice I left my seam kind of right in the middle of the doorway. That way we can get in and out of here real easy. Common sense, right? Y'all don't need to be told stuff like that. But anyway, I've got a couple little spots on here that I'll go back and address when we're done. Kind of over in the corners of the rear window, and we'll just go through and just brush that on with the paintbrush and take care of that afterwards. But for now, this will take care of the big area. So with all that done, let's go out here and pour some of this into the gun. This stuff's really easy. You don't have to mix anything or nothing. You just pour it straight in the gun and spray it. Unsponsored content. This is actually left over from another project, and so far so good. I haven't had any of the rust come back yet, so we're going to use what we got in here, because that's kind of the theme of this whole build, is to use what we already have and do this super cheap. So there's just enough in here to take care of the bottom side of the roof, and I thought that's what we would go ahead and do today. Just do this right here on the hood of the car. Why not? I don't think we're going to hurt anything. Use my new little paint can opener, man. This was sent to me by a subscriber too. This thing's nice. You guys send me the best stuff, man. I suppose you could strain this if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to pour what's left in there. I told you there wasn't going to be much. We're just going to pour what's left in there. And if there is any left, we can pour it right back into the can, because like I said, this stuff, you just do it straight. You don't have to put anything in it if you don't want to. I mean, it doesn't take a hardener or anything. So I'm going to get this straightened out, get it on the gun. Just twist the collar on here. These are pretty nice, man. Somebody was telling me they sell these liners at Harbor Freight, but I haven't found them, at least not at my Harbor Freight, because that would be nice to have those. And that just clips right on there like that, and then you flip it over and away we go. Okay, so let's step into my office here. Got a nice little spot in here, huh? Let's I take this light down, put it over here. All right, so here we go. I have got my pressure set down to around, I don't know, about 16, 18 pounds, and I've got my fan width pretty narrow, because we don't want this stuff doesn't create a lot of overspray at all, but to minimize it, I'm going to go ahead and narrow the fan up, and we're just going to breeze right through this really fast. Well, I think all the overspray is settled. Let's get in here and pull this plastic down now. We're done with it. So there you have it. It's all coated. And according to Eastwood Company, we have now neutralized the rust. So supposedly it won't spread any further. Now, this is all temporary, so we don't need a whole lot out of it. I mean, if we could just get a year or two, I would be happy, because I do plan on coming back and actually cutting all of this off and welding on another roof. If we could find one that's rust-free, a used one. Hopefully in the near future, they will start making these roofs, but for right now, they don't. So anyway, this is what we're doing. I think at this point we could put our sheets in, our metal sheets. We're going to go ahead and use the stainless steel ones. I showed you all that in the last video. So some of you guys are telling me it's okay to weld stainless steel to mild steel, and I'm going to try it. I've never done it before. So anyway, I have some stainless steel. We're using what I have laying around, like I'd explained before. Some of y'all probably think I'm crazy, think that stainless steel is worth too much to be welded into an old rusty roof, and I would agree, but like I said, we're just using what I've got laying around, and it just so happens I have plenty of that laying around, so that's what we're going to use. Thought maybe we just throw a little paper up here, just a way to kind of deflect the sparks away from my glass and my door panels and all of that. Thought it'd be good enough. We're not gonna be welding like right up next to it or anything. So this is it, man. I think it's time we start throwing some metal in there, see if we can start plugging some of these holes up. Has anybody guessed what these are yet? See about getting our first piece in here. Let's see, I want to kind of do it where it's a little bit even on both sides. So I think probably maybe right here. Like that. Get that in there like that. That's what I'm thinking. And that pretty much covers all of our holes in this section. I think that's a good spot. Let's start there. So yeah, these came off of the bottom of doors. You know how the little kick panel on the bottom of a door inside of, I don't know, a school or a business or anything like that. That's that strip you see down at the bottom. And I think it's gonna work out perfectly for this. So you can see here, I'm gonna run through. We're gonna put some screws in it to kind of help it form to the shape of the roof. We kind of bent ourselves a little bit of a crown in it. You guys remember we did that on the other video. Super easy to do. You could do that right over your knee if you need to. So anyway, we've got it to where it pretty well forms to the roof, and we'll go through and we'll put screws, get it perfectly in place, and then we'll start welding. So we got the piece screwed in, as you can see here. We got these screws sticking up through the roof. Not to worry, once we're done with them, we'll take those out and weld the holes shut. So they'll serve their purpose for now, and then they'll go. And here it is on the inside, and it's actually fitting up there really nice. So what I'm gonna do is go back and work off some of that rust encapsulator where we're gonna put a weld. That way we get a nice weld. And yeah, after that we can pull the screws out and weld the holes shut. Alright, so I think I'm ready to start welding. You can see where I kind of got me a shiny spot all the way down the edge of it there, and got me a ground welded straight to it. So we got us a nice, good, solid ground. I think we're ready to go. Well, we sure got to go slow. We don't want to bust right through that roof, and it don't take but a second. Yeah, that metal in that roof's so thin, man, that it don't take much to burn through it. So anyway, it's working. So hey, we'll just keep going. Come check it out from the outside. Look, this is our welds. You know, we're getting some good penetration there, and there's our stainless steel. So now once it's all done, we get all of our panels welded in, we should be able to come out to the outside. We'll treat the outside just like we did the inside with our rust encapsulator. That way we neutralize it, and then we could come in and start doing our fiberglass resin, whatever. But we won't have to worry about pouring it on here and having it go right straight through the roof. Some of you guys are saying put some tape on it. That's fine, you know, tape it from the inside, just something to keep the resin from running through. I wanted to go something a little bit stronger. I thought by maybe putting some metal in there, it would kind of strengthen it back up. I mean, hell, you see out here in the middle, that is really, really flimsy. I just don't like it, and I just think having that metal on the inside of there is going to help us out. See about getting our next piece in there. Slide it right underneath here, and we'll try to anyway. Maybe. Let's see. Putty knife around here somewhere. There we go. Something like that. Let's see, I want it to come out from underneath this rib just a little bit. I didn't want the edge of it to be hiding underneath it. That's pretty close. Something like that, I guess. It's actually working out really well. That reinforcement is pushing that up against the roof really nice. I mean, I don't even think I need to put any screws in this piece like we did the other one. I might put a couple maybe out on the ends, and that's about it. Man, that is nice. Look at that. That's a nice little patch right there. I can't wait to get over to the next one. That's when we'll really be doing some good. Well, since we ain't got to screw that last piece in, I thought maybe we could go ahead and get this one in. Here we go. That one went in pretty easy. That'll go in somewhere about like that. And then I got my next piece already ready. And we'll do it the same way we did this one. We'll slide it underneath this guy here. So we'll just add some screws in like that, here and there, just like we did on the other ones. It ought to be fine. Let's come up here and take a look. I don't know if you could tell. Let's see. Can you see where there's just a little bit of, there's a little gap there. I don't like that. I want this piece, the piece underneath here, to fit tightly against this. I don't want there to be any of this kind of stuff going on. You see that? So let's see if we could push up on this piece underneath and make this fit a little bit tighter before we start running any tack welds. This should be pretty easy to fix. All I'm going to do is just take this right here, just a little screw jack, and just make it to where I can apply a little bit of pressure, forcing this piece upward, obviously. And once we get everything fit nice and tight, I'll run a few tack welds. Yeah, we'll just get everything into position here, just kind of want it under the middle there, and we'll crank this a few times. And it's not going to take much. I mean, literally, that's just enough probably. It's probably already fitting nice and tight up top. All it's going to take is just a few little turns. We're just applying just a little bit of pressure. And when we go out there and look at it, it should be fitting nice and tight underneath that other layer. So yeah, that took a lot of that out. I like how that fits a lot better. Yeah, I just didn't want there to be a gap between the two sheets and like some of the areas. I mean, it was like that. So obviously you want to match the new piece up with the contour of this piece. And that's why we're kind of putting a little bit of a crown in it, because roofs are not totally flat, right? So yeah, we'll just get it all tacked up now, and it should, hold that shape. Should be fine. Well, alright y'all, that's about all I could do with it. I just wanted to kind of strengthen up that middle section there where most of the metal's rusted completely away. Welded what I could, and then the rest of it I just kind of screwed it in there with sheet metal screws. And I mean, what you see is what you get. It's temporary. Most of it was just to add a little rigidity to it. Some of you guys, like I said, were saying, just throw some tape underneath it, whatever. And I thought maybe this way we could say we went the extra mile and tried to do a little something good for it. And like I said, it's all temporary. The next step will be to, we're going to kind of rough this up a little bit with a grinder. And we'll have to grind these screw tips sticking off. Get rid of those. And then after that, we'll rust proof this area as well. So at this point, I think I'm just going to skim over the whole roof with my DA. So I've gone over the entire roof with my DA and the 80 grit sandpaper. Now I'm just going to kind of blow the dust off. Alright, time for some masking. Let's run our plastic up over this thing. So yeah, we'll just cover the whole car with plastic. That's the easiest way to mask off. You just cover the whole thing, and then you just come through and you just cut out the area that you want to paint. It's the easiest way I know of to mask. I like to kind of gather up my corners, keep them nice and tight. That way we don't got plastic blowing around all over the place. Seems to work pretty good. So yeah, it ought to look something like that when you're done. That way the plastic stays tight on there, and you kind of put them around underneath there, and then you can either tie them in a knot or you could tape them like I did there. Works pretty good. So yeah, at this point we could just come in and just cut out the part that we're wanting to paint, right? And then save everything else to be masked off, you see here. So really easy. That's how they taught us to do it in the body shop, and it seems to go quickest. I haven't found a quicker way to do it than that. Yeah, then you just come through here and run your tape right all those edges, you know. So we got this half done. This is what it ought to look like. You see what I mean? You just cut out the areas that you want to paint, and then everything else is wrapped up nice and tight. You ain't got to mess with no paper or nothing. Now, it is worth mentioning that this is good plastic. This is 3M. This is quality. You go and you buy some stuff from Walmart, hey man, your guess is good as mine. It's probably not going to be good. And what will happen is that when you come through here and you start spraying your stuff, you will come back along to do your second coat, right? And then when you get back over here, you go to blow your second coat, and then all of that overspray will flake off of that plastic and it will fly into your paint job, and it is horrible. It is a horrible thing to have happen to you. Ask me how I know. So you do want to buy the good stuff. This stuff was donated to us by a subscriber, and we do appreciate it that he went the extra mile, got us the good stuff. So yeah, a whole roll of it here, man. This stuff goes a long ways too. It'll last you a while. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up this other side. We'll be ready to wipe this thing down with some acetone, get it all cleaned up. We can start spraying our rust encapsulator on there. Okay, so that ought to do it as far as masking goes. Yeah, I just want to get a little bit of this on a rag, try not to spill it all over the place like I'm doing. I'm just coming through here and just wiping it off, and you'll have to make several passes because this is what it looks like when it comes off. Yeah, this is what it looks like on the first pass, but after you wipe on it a few times, that rag will start to clean up and it'll look a lot better. And yeah, expect to use a lot of rags. Once you've got it all wiped down, I'll give it a final little go over with my air nozzle. So just like last time, I mean, you just pour it straight out of the can and you can spray it that way. You don't have to do anything to it. I mean, you can thin it out a little bit if you want to. I'm gonna go ahead and just leave it the way it comes out of the can. It doesn't take a catalyst or anything, so we ought to be good to go here. Just stir it up really good. That's always important. So there it is after full coverage. I put 2 coats on it. I hosed it down pretty good. I mean, it's gonna do what it's gonna do, y'all. So anyway, man, I'm tempted to kind of unwrap it and see what it looks like with the green, with the black looking like that, all nice. I mean, from a distance, I mean, hell, that's a good 20 footer. I don't know. That probably look pretty good. But anyway, next step will be to start our fiberglass resin. We're just going to kind of pour some on there, spread it around, and maybe get some kitty hair, some of that good stuff. We'll put it in there. It'll be nice and strong, and it will have some metal to bond to, since we put those pieces inside of it. So anyway, there you go, man. So far, so good. You guys leave me a comment if you've ever used this stuff. I've used it once in the past, and it's been maybe a year since I put it on there, and nothing's come through so far, so I don't know. I can't vouch for it. It's unsponsored content. I don't know anything about the stuff. I've heard some people say it's good. I've heard that there's other stuff out there that's much better, so I don't know, man. Y'all tell me, what do y'all use? I can't resist it, man. I got to take it outside and look at it. See what this new black top. Let's not forget our dome light. It went right up through here like this. Came around over here and went into these little clips here. Let's get that back in there. Not that it works yet, but we'll get it figured out. We'll make it work. I think that went into there. And these go off over here like that. Yeah, something like that there. Let's see, we need to get this to come through here. There we go. Let's see if she'll fire up. Well, there she is outside, y'all. Man, I told you she's a 20 footer. Look at that, 20 footer all day long. That actually doesn't look too bad. Man, that's motivational right there, man. You know, you guys are ever working on a project and you get a little bit stumped with it, whip it outside, man. Remind the neighbors what you're working with. It's very motivational, I promise you. Man, she is so fat and slammed. I just love this look. Man, I was supposed to put those skirts on for you guys. I do apologize. I'll put the fender skirts on the rear on the next video, I promise. So on the next video, we're gonna do the real deal. We're gonna hit the bed liner spray on there and plug up the holes for real, make her watertight so we can start driving it. So I think on the next video, we'll finally get in there, get the bed liner spray onto the top, get it watertight and all of that, so we can finally start driving this old girl. That's gonna be so much fun. I can't wait to start driving it. Man, it is breezy out there today. I had to roll the window up over there. We got another snowstorm rolling in. They were talking about snow tonight, and here it is like 70 degrees. So you gotta love it, man. That's Oklahoma for you. Hey, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and get on out of here, get this thing back in the shop before the storm hits. And please like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. I appreciate all of y'all watching. The support on this video series has been overwhelming, and I do thank y'all for all of that. So I'm gonna get on out of here for now, and I will see y'all later.